And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Do you remember playing Cops and Robbers when you were a kid? Today, we're going to be looking at Good Cop, Bad Cop. It's a social deduction game, tiny little card game, plays 4 to 8 people, plays in about 10 minutes. Interesting enough, let's take a look. The Dice Tower people have reviewed this. Tom and Z and all them really love this game. And that made me buy it to see if I really like it. Because I love social deduction games. Did I like this one? Let's find out. At the beginning of the game, everyone gets 3 face-down integrity cards. They get to look at them and keep them secret, and they have to keep them in the same spot that they're at. Now, what they gotta see, I'm going to show you this, they would never do this at the beginning of the game, but you're either going to be crooked or honest. I have 2 crooked and 1 honest, which would make me a crooked person. If I was 2 honest and 1 crooked, again, whatever is the majority you would be, I would be honest here. Now, there's 2 kingpins, or I guess 2 leaders. There's a kingpin for the crooked team, red, and blue. Agent is the leader of the good team. So the agent, the leaders always trump what cards they have. For example, I'm on the good team because I'm an agent. But even if I have 2 crooked cards, if I'm the agent, I'm still good because the agent supersedes that. Conversely, obviously I'm bad on the kingpin, but if I had 2 honest cards, I would still be bad because I'm the kingpin because the leader cards overrule whatever other integrity cards I have. So in this case, I would be a good, honest person. Everyone would have this face down, and then we'd start the game. So let's say we have a 4-player game set up here. We have integrity cards for each of the 4 players. There's 2 guns, and there's an equipment pile. Everybody gets 1 equipment card randomly. This will help you break the rules of the game. What you're trying to do is, whatever team you're on, you're trying to kill the leader of the other team. If you're a good guy, you're trying to kill the kingpin. If you're a bad guy, you're trying to kill the agent. The start player gets this lead investigation card. It shows you whose turn it is, but also on the back it also shows you the actions that you can take. So essentially you're choosing one of the actions. One thing you could do is investigate face down anybody's integrity card. So I'm a good guy, but I'm going to go look at this. I'm going to take his middle one. I'm going to secretly look at it. Oh my gosh, first pick. He's the kingpin. I would be jumping up and down. He's the kingpin, trying to tell me that because I'm a good guy, I want to kill this guy. If I was a bad guy and I saw that, maybe I'd lie. So wow, I picked him right. That was totally random. He's the kingpin, so I'd be trying to tell people to kill him if he's on a good team, but hey, I could be lying and they'd be casting doubt on me. It would then be the next player's turn. They could do anything they want. One of the things they could do is draw another equipment card. Now you can only have 1, so they would, from the one they have, if they already had one, they would take one of these, they'd keep it, they'd put the other one on the bottom of the pile. But anytime you take an equipment card, it's going to cost you. You have to flip over one of your 3 integrity cards, so now everybody knows that he's 1/3 crooked. Now, it would be the next player's turn. The third thing you could do is arm yourself with a gun. So maybe this person takes a gun from the middle of the table. As soon as you grab a gun, you aim it. So he's going to aim it at this guy because he saw him here. And then he has to flip something over. This guy shows that he's honest. That'd be the next player's turn. So essentially, investigating 1 card from somebody, taking an equipment card, taking a gun, or shoot. Those are the only 4 actions that you have. Now, you can play an equipment card at any time. They pretty much break the rules of the game. For instance, some of these, planted evidence. Choose a player for the rest of the game. All their players' crooked cards are honest, and honest are crooked. It basically puts them on the other team. Shuffle the flashbang. Shuffle all your integrity cards, look at them, and place them face down on the table in any order. So if people were looking at yours, now they don't know what's what. Metal detector. Investigate each player who's holding a gun. Pretty cool. Defibrillator. Revive a player who's eliminated. Choose and discard 2 of their integrity cards. Their roles determined by 1 integrity card for the rest of the game. Wiretap. Investigate any 2 players. Canine unit. Choose a player. If they're holding a gun, they drop it. If it's currently that player's turn, they cannot pick up a gun this turn. So those are the types of things that equipment cards do. Now let's say it's this player's turn. He has a gun. If he went and looked at somebody else's integrity card, at the end of your turn, you always take aim. That's the only time you can change aim is when you grab a gun, you aim it at somebody, and at the end of your next turn, you aim it at somebody. Now, shooting. You could shoot, basically, whoever you want. So he's aiming it at that player. Now, he would shoot this person. They're basically dead. if they are just a normal person. Okay, this was just an honest cop. This person is now dead. If they had one equipment card, it'd go at the bottom of the deck. If they had a gun, it would go back in the middle. They're dead. If this player was actually the agent, they would flip it over, and instead of dying, they have taken a wound. So essentially, this allows you to draw equipment card when you take this. You're eliminated when you get shot again, or you no longer hold this agent card. So you get a wound, but you get an equipment card. And if this person gets shot again, then they're dead, and the Kingpin team, the Crooked Cops would win. Now here, if this player was the honest cop, and they did die, and later on the agent's team wins, even though he died, he still wins. So that's pretty much the game. You're either investigating someone's card, you're equipping yourself, you're grabbing a gun, or you're shooting, and it's all a lot of social deduction and talking and bluffing and lying and all that sort of stuff, and that's how you play. All right, there's Good Cop, Bad Cop. I'm a huge fan of social deduction games. Love them. They're some of my favorite genre of games. Tom spoke so highly of this game, and I had watched his reviews and stuff that I bought it. It's very cheap. It's $15 or $10 or so, something like that online. I bought it and played it a few times, and I gotta say, maybe it's because of the hype of what Tom gave it, but maybe my hopes were too high for this, I'm thinking, because it was okay. But when you put this up against like my favorites of the social deduction genre of One Night Ultimate Werewolf and Resistance Avalon and things like that, for me it doesn't hold weight to those heavy hitters. I like that the turns move fast. Boom, 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 boom. You're doing one thing, it moves really fast. I like the aspect of having the 3 identity cards and your what it is the majority. Actually, I have a social deduction game called Mayday Mayday that came out before this that uses that very similar mechanism, but in my opinion, that game is a lot deeper, a lot longer, and a lot more intense, and I really like that game. This one, it is what it is. It's a very light, very quick social deduction game. Boom, done in 10 minutes, easy to teach. You're doing 1 of 4 things on your turn, moves very fast, and that part I like about it. But as for the actual experience, it was okay. It didn't blow me away. And it might be because my expectations were too high with Tom, but it was just okay for me. Sure, you've got he's the Kingpin, or he's the crooked guy, and the lying, and that stuff will happen, and that's cool. But overall, I don't know. It's hard to put a finger on exactly what I didn't like about it. It's not that I disliked the game. I thought it was okay. It wasn't a bad game. I didn't have any problems with the game. I just think it was maybe overhyped by Tom, in my opinion. So check it out for yourself. You may think differently. It's worth a try if you like social deduction games because it's so inexpensive. Give it a try and see if you like it. But there wasn't anybody in my group that was like, whoa, yeah, this has got legs. Let's play this instead of One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Let's play this instead of Resistance. Not really. And those are the go-to games in this genre, and this one doesn't quite live up to it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. Moved fast. It was good, but it didn't like sweep us off our feet and make us want to keep playing it. That's Good Cop, Bad Cop.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.